I'm Ikhlas Bishri, and today I'm going to be doing a deep dive into Bon Appetit's social media crisis that they faced in late May of 2020. Bon Appetit is a magazine created by the mass media company Condé Nast. They acquired a huge following on their YouTube channel due to their famous video series Gourmet Makes. Since the beginning of their series in 2017, they were riding high until June 8th, when a photo of BA's editor-in-chief Adam Rappaport doing brown face surfaced. Right after the photo surfaced, allegations of a racist work environment broke out. These allegations were made by a former employee by the name of Sola El-Waili, who claimed that she was discriminated against by Rappaport and given a low salary and position than her less experienced white co-workers. Bon Appetit's response, in my opinion, was abysmal. We have seen other companies who faced Bon Appetit's racism crisis many times. Walmart, Amazon, Abercrombie & Fitch, just to name a few, have all dealt with allegations of racism against their employees. This is by no means a niche issue. However, Bon Appetit just dug itself deeper by ignoring the tactics a company in crisis should use. These include act and act fast, use all means to communicate, acknowledge the situation at hand, validate the people's feelings, be authentic, and encourage dialogue. Bon Appetit somehow managed to ignore each and every single one of these, which is kind of astounding. They waited 2 whole months to reply on the platform they had the most followers on. They put out an Instagram post saying sorry and promising change, but then went silent and didn't say how they were going to go about doing this. They fired Rappaport, and after 2 months of letting the situation sit, they hired a more diverse staff and showed them off in a YouTube video, not saying a word of what happened or mentioning the racist system that lives within Bon Appetit and Condé Nast. They just basically said, hey, we hired a black woman as our editor-in-chief in this one magazine that is a part of this huge media company with a systemic race problem. They did not ask how they can do better or how they can fix these systemic issues. They just invalidated every person of color that spoke out against them. It's safe to say people were not happy with that video and were accusing them of not being authentic and being performative. We can conclude that Bon Appetit had no idea what they were doing when they were faced with this crisis. This is why it is extremely important for a company, especially one as big as theirs, to have a crisis response plan, fitted with a crisis response team and an internal communication plan, which helps them when they are faced with these crises. One good example of a company that had a great crisis response plan is Southwest Airlines. The Southwest Flight 345 that landed nose first at LaGuardia is an example of a big brand who knew exactly how to handle a crisis through social media. They had quick response time, so they acted fast. They used all means to communicate, mainly on Facebook and Twitter, where they had the most followers. They acknowledged the situation at hand. They validated their customers' concerns. They were authentic and they encouraged dialogue. Bon Appetit is a great example for why any company, especially a media company, to have a crisis response plan in place in case anything happens. Thank you so much for listening, and that concludes our deep dive into Bon Appetit's 2020 social media crisis.